The winner of the 2022 AT&T Slam Dunk Contest from the New York Knicks. Let's hear it for Obi Toppin.
I figure I spread some love and some joy amongst us, you know what I'm saying? Represent for my young fella. Yeah, I'm Obi. When I put this on your head, I'm Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head. Last year they jerked us from the dunk test. This year I'm back, you know I'm Movex. I hold it down my own, represent the city. All my Mars underground chat stay gritty. 5 times we winners on the showcase. Never mind the Reggies, let them all hate. From New York to Cleveland, that All-Star weekend. If I don't win that trophy, I ain't leaving. I'm 6'9", incredible with the vertical. Medical prints on the rim means I'm surgical. Posterize you with a flick cause you playing gutter. Same height like my dad when he played at the Rucker. How you wanted the alley-oop from out the roof. If I was Blake, I would've jumped over a new coupe. My shoe game by the greatest, so I stay sporting. Some OB hot topping, so I went Jordan. That windmill from the wing, it'll make the garden buzz. Then take off with one bounce where Fat Joe was. The next morning, everybody saying it's my night. The great Warner Wolfie talking on my highlights. That one jersey be swerving through the back cuts. And I ain't drunk when I tell Quick to throw it up. Get out my way, you ain't seen that no look pass. The next dunk, Mike Darrell talk and break your glass. When I put this on your head, I'm Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head, I'm Obi. When I put this on your head, I'm Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head. Last year they jerked us from the dunk test. This year I'm back, you know I'm Movex. I hold it down my own, represent the city. All my Mars underground chat stay gritty. 5 times we winners on the showcase. Never mind the Reggies, let them all hate. From New York to Cleveland, that All-Star weekend. If I don't win that trophy, I ain't leaving. Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy J Boogie. I don't play no games with this. I support our team to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? But I only got one thing to say. Play the young kids, that's it. Y'all know where our future is at. The future is with them. Not in the past, not in the present, the future. Let's go. Let's go. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head, I'm Obi.
Hey, oh, we back. What's going on? What's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good to see y'all. Happy Saturday. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. These Knicks, now that they're eliminated, the fun has begun. You know what I mean? They're out here doing what they got to do as far as playing for one another. I like that. Man, I look like Grizzly Adams today. It is what it is. Whatever. Yeah, man. I'm just. It was fine. You know, a fine display of basketballmanship out there from these young Knick whippersnappers. I was excited, man. I was excited. There we go. The only thing that would have made it better is if Porzingis would have been there. Now, granted, Porzingis was there. You know, who knows how the game goes, but that would have made it interesting. That would have made it really fun. But yeah, man, it's nice to see. And listen, I don't want to shortchange anything that's going on with regards to Immanuel Quickley. I mean, you see, I'm really excited about what we're seeing from Obi, but I felt like we could have seen this from Obi a lot sooner. The only thing I want to say is that Quickley Obi connection is back. See, we saw a little of it early in the season because they were so they spent so much time together with the summer league and then playing in the summer, like practicing in the summer while people were chilling and having fun. They were together up at Westchester working out, and we saw it early. But then with Thibodeau's offenses, rotations, with Kimba, with Fournier, with the Knicks trying to figure each other out, that chemistry that Obi and Quickley had started to kind of dissipate. You know, it wasn't as on point as it was. But now that they have a chance to start playing together, I hope you guys understand, man, this is not from them just playing together right now. This is all that work they did in the summer league and this last offseason. This is that chemistry that Quickley and Obi have developed. So it looks great. Yeah, so salute to both of them, and salute to Quickley. You know, I complain about him a lot with regards to his point guard duties and how he can kind of step up his game and you know, have better court vision and less dribble, like my man D's Ballin likes to say. I just think that he's starting to get a lot better. There's certain things, like I said, I'm never gonna sugarcoat what I'm saying. I'm gonna, you know, if I feel like he's doing something better than what I expected and he's improving, I'm gonna give him props. He still does that little thing sometimes where he has a little tunnel vision. But that's, you know, maybe more and more time he gets more and more better at it. Yesterday in the game, I saw there was a point he was dribbling the ball. He came down the court and Obi was right behind him, running with him. And then he just Quickley was going straight. Obi went to the right. But Quickley's head, while he was dribbling the ball, was looking this way the whole time. He never even saw Obi behind him. Like, you know, that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I just, you know, he's got to start to learn how to get as comfortable as possible and see the whole court. But, you know, it is what it is. That comes in time. He's still a very young player. And, you know, I like the fact that he is improving. So that's good. That's good. And if we can't find a good point guard going into next year, Quickley might be the guy, and we might not be bad with him being the guy, as long as the offensive system continues to expand, that we do some stuff. Because remember, it looks good now because they're playing fast and free. When Tibbs gets his hook back into the system, when we're playing for something, you know what I mean? Salute to the chat. What's going on? Let me give a quick shout out to everybody. Brooklyn Buddha, what's good? D's Ballin, as always, my brother. Good to see you. Osaduke, what's up? Jay Boogie, the closer. Jay Boogie, listen, you know what I mean? That Obi joint is ringing off now, man. See, you was ahead of the curve. It looks like it was meant for the dunk competition, but Obi starting the ball. It's Obi season. I was hoping it was going to be Obi season all year. I was saying that early and often, but, the way things worked out, it just didn't happen the way it should have. But we could have been seeing a lot of this all season, guys. Maybe as the season got better, of course, Obi would get better. But we could have been seeing maybe not Obi scoring 35, but Obi could have been scoring 20 points, on different occasions. So I don't know. I'm just saying, you guys understand what I'm saying. It is what it is. Delano Steele Jr., what's good? White Falcon, what's happening, bro? Big task at hand. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Dripmore's in the building. What's happening? JJ, I see you. Be civilized. Yeah, Our Future Media. The original players is in here right now. Appreciate y'all. Hard Will, what's good? Oh wow. What? Damn. I didn't see that. I didn't know that. That's sad news, man. Thanks for acknowledging that and putting that out there, Jay Boogie. Wow, I didn't know that. Damn, that's crazy. And this is the same Dwayne Haskins that the Giants could have drafted, and there was a lot of hoopla about that. And then, the Giants obviously went with, this other guy. Sheesh. But wow, that's sorry to hear that, man. That's a shame, man. You never want to see anybody go through a loss of life especially not our young people that have a chance to still flourish and grow in this world, and they've got so many things ahead of them, things that they can accomplish and see life, and that's sad, man. I'm sorry to hear that is really horrible. So thank you for putting that up there, Jay Boogie. I just seen the alert come over my phone right now. The chances are slim, but to anybody who is a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, a fan of Dwayne Haskins, to his family, RIP, my condolences. Very sorry to hear that. That's sad news. A very young, promising NFL player who never really had a chance to really get it going. He got a little shot with Washington, but they really just threw him to the wolves. Unfortunately, they never really cultivated him and gave him the chance to succeed over there. They basically threw him out there without really, working with him, and because of that, initially he didn't look too good with their team, and so he was trying to get his second chance at things with Pittsburgh, and that's really, really sad stuff. Thanks again, Jay Boogie, for putting that up. Appreciate it. Salute to Philip Jones. I see you, Juju92. Visions is in the building. Salute, brother. Yeah, that's some tough news, man. Now I'm, but we gotta keep moving on and pressing on, and hopefully we wish him something special in the afterlife, man. That's oh man, that's such bad news, bro. Jeez. Wow. Let me put this in the chat. So therefore, if anybody wants to jump in, feel free. So the one thing that I want everybody to think about with regards to the Knicks is, yes, they are out of it, and yes, they won this last game when some Knicks fans were hoping they didn't win because we're changing the odds. I think it was something, if we would have lost the last few games, we have a 20% chance of getting a top 4 pick, and I don't know, obviously a lot smaller chance, but a chance of getting a number 1 pick. But a 20% chance of getting a top 4 pick is pretty good, you know what I mean? But now they've lessened that opportunity with a win, because this is what the Knicks do. You guys been Knicks fans for at least 10 years. You've seen the Knicks do this every year. They get to the point where they have a tough season, and it comes down to the final games, and the Knicks start to win these last few games. One, because maybe they're playing young guys that are playing fast and free. They've got nothing to lose. Or two, they are playing against teams that are pushing for the playoffs or what have you, and they're resting their players so the Knicks have a better chance of winning. But this always happens. Whatever. It is what it is, guys. Hopefully we get what we get. I mean, miracles do happen, and Knicks need a miracle. We definitely need a top 5 pick of some sort. We get that, we might be able to do something, get a good player, or we might be able to, if we can get that number 1 pick, like a lot of people are hoping, that would definitely give us an asset to go out there and trade for something. Well, let me get my guys in here. Let's say what's up to my man. D is balling. What's happening?
How you doing, Ron? How's everything?
Hey, Boogie, what's good?
What's up, Jay?
Top of the AM. What's good, my brothers? How you doing? Shout out to the chat. Happy Saturdays. Blessings and blessings upon us all, man. Let's go.
Thank you guys for jumping in. Appreciate y'all. Once again, that's really sad news about Dwayne Haskins. Terrible news. And you know, I'm just it's just so crazy because when I think about you know, the whole situation with him, like there was so many, you know, back and forth and so many people ripping the Giant organization. It makes you think with the whole thing with the head coach Brian Flores and his lawsuit against the NFL for discrimination and all this, because people were saying that the Giants will never allow African American quarterback to run their team. And that's the reason why they didn't want to bring in Dwayne Haskins. I don't think that's the case. I don't think the Giants feel that way. Are they part of that good old boys network? Maybe they are. But I just think that, and I also think that the way the franchises run now, with the sons of the former Tishes and Maras, it's a little different. The older version of those guys, they was a little bit more all-inclusive. You know what I mean? We had a black man as the GM for our New York Giant team for many years. So, you know, so all that stuff is just crazy because it brings it all back to this Dwayne Haskins things. It makes me think a lot. But that's the shame. I wanted to think differently about what I'm seeing with the this current Knicks team and how I've been ripping Quickley all year for not showing me that he's well, not him per se, but the Knicks organization for putting him in a position of being that point guard when we don't have a true point guard. But I got to tell you, I'm not saying Quickley is that much, you know, he is getting better, but I don't want to say like all of a sudden now he's the guy. But I will say he is looking a lot better. But I also feel like that's because Tibbs is just letting them play. Like he's still barking out orders and stuff, but you know, these games don't really mean anything in the way that Tibbs looks at games. So he's allowing these guys to be fast and free. They're making mistakes. He's letting them play through it. Like certain things you haven't seen from Tibbs all season now that we're out of it. And it makes me wonder if Tibbs goes into the next season with a little bit more of this mindset, which I don't think he will, but if he does, will we start to see more out of our players? Does that change the way our team looks in general? Because I don't think we're as bad as we were this year. We're not that good, but we're not as bad as we were had we been playing different. I don't know what you guys think about that. What do you think, D?
To which part? You brought up a couple
the fact that,
aspects.
The fact that we are not as bad as we looked overall. Had we just done some things differently in how we played, we would have played better basketball. Even though we're not that good either, we still need pieces, and the roster could have been developed. I mean, you know, put together differently. But if we played differently, if Tibbs has a different mindset, maybe we get more out of these same guys going into next year.
Well, I think what we've seen over the last couple of weeks with Quick and Obi is an indictment on Tom Thibodeau, in the sense that, you know, when the whole Kemba Walker fiasco was going on and stuff of that nature, why wasn't Quick inserted for at least a couple of games at that position to see what he would do, at least, and to give it a try instead of just putting Burke there and sticking to that no matter what? That didn't make a lot of sense. Also, the minutes distribution, or the inconsistent minutes distribution of Obi, is an indictment on Tom Thibodeau, because you see when he's out there, it's just a different brand of basketball. Guys are getting up and down the court more. He doesn't require the basketball in his hands in order for him to be effective. So that means he's not wasting your shot clock. He's a willing passer. He's also a willing defender. Doesn't mean he's a good defender, but he is a willing defender. Mm-hmm. And that's something that, you know, we need more on this team. So a lot of things could have gone differently this year. And there could have been a lot of adjustments that could have been made that maybe could have righted the ship better. But I trust in the fact that everything happens for a reason. And I understand the draft day might be a bummer for people who look, listen, if I was a betting man, I could have told you that the Knicks were going to win last night. And and I'll show you the text later, Rob, from yesterday. I said that Tom is going to play Burks 32 minutes and they're going to win by 10. And I was pretty close to that. So that's no surprise to me. Mm-hmm. But I'm the type where it's like, you know, it doesn't matter where we draft at. I think we've learned throughout the years that there's players out there. Listen, there's 60 players in that draft. Thousands of players are playing international basketball. Hundreds of thousands are playing around the world. These guys can play. It's just a matter of finding the right guys that's fitting your direction and your system. Right. And it's also developing that talent as well. Doesn't always work all the time, but I guarantee you, if you stick to developing, 6, 7 out of 10 of those players are going to develop well somewhere to either stay with you or to move them in order to gather assets. So now the question is that for next year, what do you do with Obi Toppin in this Julius Randle situation? You can't have Obi play 10 to 15 minutes. You just can't. So now they're kind of in the fork of the road of deciding what they're going to go with. And I'm just saying that I'm a guy that I'm always thinking about, how can I get the most out of doing the least, right? And I'm saying that if Obi is going to be $20 million cheaper than Julius Randle next year, and his stat line of production is going to look almost the same, it's a no-brainer. If you're having troubles getting point guards, right, and you feel like a Malcolm Brogdon might be too risky, right, or something of that nature, or there's nothing in the draft, or we have Immanuel Quickley right here. I'm not saying he's going to be point guard of the future, but it's something that's worth experimenting because you really don't have a lot of avenues to go. So a lot of things could have gone different. To answer your question, a lot of things could have gone differently. And next year is going to be very interesting. And I'm telling you, you think the seat was hot already for Tom? That thing is going to be volcanic starting next season. That's what I got to say about it.
Yeah, what you think about that, Jay Boogie? Everything that's going on with the team, can they be better just with what we got right now? Not saying that's what we're going to stay with, but if Tibbs uses the guys differently, allows Obi to play the minutes that he deserves. Because one thing I will say before you go is that for a guy who struggled shooting, especially from the perimeter, notice how much better Obi's shooting when he gets more opportunities to shoot the basketball. Notice how he can find his rhythm. You don't get the touches. You don't get a chance to – you put up 2 shots and you miss them, and then they don't go to you no more. Like, it's hard to get it back. But now that he's able to shoot, it's interesting. What do you think, Jay Boogie?
Opportunity brings confidence, and that's what's happening with Obi right now. He don't have to look over his shoulders left and right, wonder if I make a mistake, I miss assignment, I'm coming right out. He's playing real comfortable. I'm gonna feed right back to to the Quickley thing to stay on topic. But before I forget and lose my mind and train of thought, I just want to say that it is so beautiful to see Obi doing what he's doing with the opportunity and the numbers he's putting up, like over the last 6, maybe 7 games, what he's doing for the team. Say at trade deadline, if we would have traded him and he would have been doing what he's doing right here, right now with another team, we'd have been like, all he needed was the opportunity. He could have been doing that for us. But now you see he can do that for us. So I'm happy that he's still here and we had the opportunity to see that he can do. He's been showcased. Now what are you going to do about the situation, Tom? When we reflect back to Quickley, Quickley took that last year. Even though we had some bums at guard, but let me get that. I'm ready. Let me rock that. He took the spots from them guys. We were supposed to build off that man's momentum. You know what I'm saying? If you really about developing the young core and the young kids, build up off that momentum and keep pushing that young kid forward. But coming into this season, it's kind of like he treated the man like he was a rookie this year. When he got his feet wet last year, he did everything he could. He played in the guard. He could play in front of the fans. He played in the playoffs. He's not scared. And the boy got heart, and he's willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? And he's a healthy guy that's going to be there for almost every game. I don't remember Quickley missing any games. But Tom, if you're going to be here, you got to play these kids. You got to ride with these kids. And like, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Ron just said that it's $20 million cheaper. I mean, My bad. Mr. D, D's baller said that's 20 mil cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And just about putting up the same numbers. You know what I'm saying? With more effort and with more likeliness for the team, more happiness, less pain, less aggravation. You know what I'm saying? So, we need the young kids to continue on developing. And Tom, if you can't do that, man, the office need to find something to do and bring somebody in that sees what's going on and what's happening, because they small steps from the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the young, mashing over to leading up to where the kids can develop and be like the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you do it. Then maybe come 23, we can find the right people that can come in amongst our team. Guys that could turn the light switch on. Not some of these guys that's just coming in because we got money and getting a contract and laying down, getting this place to rest, you know what I'm saying? AKA Noel, and I can go on, so on. But, man, play these young kids, man. Play these kids, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. What were you going to say, D?
Oh, no, Boogie said something that was great. He said that, they're playing free. And my question would be, is it that a more conducive environment for development?
It's a good point. Listen, let me shout out Keith Turner, Rich Boy. I see y'all. May 4th. Hewlett Samuel, a.k.a. Wadadley in the building. What's going on? Julian Blum, I see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
Shout out to great men. Shout out to him.
Yes. Let me get back to May 4th because he's saying some stuff in the chat.
Yeah, he's loose this morning, bro.
What's going on? Well, first off, I agree with you. You know what? Talk your stuff, May 4th. There's a lot of people that wanted to run Obi up out of here. I, too, at a certain point, wanted to trade Obi, not for the same reasons, because I felt like Obi's not going to play with Tom Thibodeau and his current Knicks team. I feel like, what are you doing? You might as well get rid of him, get an asset for him, and allow Obi to go somewhere else where he can start to play basketball and flourish. And even if he's not, what he's been showing us lately is great. But even if he didn't show another team this, I know he was going to show them more than the Knicks have been seeing from, because he would actually play. So I was thinking that it was time for Obi to go as well, but for those reasons. On the flip side, listen, I was never the biggest Quickley fan this year as far as him being a point guard. But do I think Quickley's a bum? No, Quickley's not a bum. Quickley is put in a situation where he's asked to do something that, even though people keep saying like Quickley was a point guard and he came in as a point. No, I mean, but you can have that as your distinction. That might be attached to his name, but he didn't play like a point guard. So he was really more of a shooting guard, an off guard type player. And now that he's being forced to really learn how to be a point guard, that's the point guard is, it's like a quarterback of a football team. It's tough. It's not easy. Some people got it naturally, but others got to work at it. It doesn't come overnight. So I'm not necessarily happy at the way Tibbs uses people, but I can't be mad at Quickley for struggling at it and then starting to become a little better at it with time. Because if he's a good player and he's a high IQ, no pun intended, and he's a dog out there, he's got that mentality, you would think he's going to start to get better at it. He's not. Doesn't mean he's going to be the best, but he is getting better. I will say that, because whatever you want to say, if these games mean something to you or not, Quickley has had 2 10-assist games in his last 3 games. And in between that, he had a 5-assist game. The game before that, he had 7 assists. So I don't sometimes
2 double-doubles and 1 triple-double.
Right.
Wow.
1 triple-double and yeah, correct. I don't always want to say that the actual assist number is what quantifies how good you are, because you could throw the pass to somebody, they don't finish. That's not on you.
That's right.
That happens plenty of times.
Yeah.
But in this case with the Knicks, he's getting these guys the ball in rhythm where they're allowed to shoot and get good, high shots. Also, he's benefiting from a hot Obi last night. I think Obi was 5 of 8 from the 3-point line, 6 of 9. So when you got a guy who's shooting the ball that well, of course your assist numbers will look better because the guys are hot. But the point is he's seeing the floor a little better. I still don't think he sees it great yet, but he's seeing it a little better. He still does the dribble, like I said before, that D always points to. But
shout out to Foxy for that, though. He started that.
It's getting better. It's getting better. Stephen Fox was good, man. Salute to you. You know, he be dropping gems too. Yeah, man. So that's the only thing. I don't want us to kill our play. Like, these are our guys. When we need them, we want them on the team to do well. Like, yeah, of course, we want the team to improve. But when we got something that could be better, if it's used the right way, we got to respect it, man. That's all I'm saying. But I hear where you're coming from, May 4th. There's been a lot of Nick hate, infighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you know.
And it's usually on the divided side of Randle and that. And it seems to be those that are not in favor of Obi are in favor of Randle. So it comes into who you like best players, stuff like that, which, I mean, that's whatever.
But it's also okay to see a person, to see a player in the beginning stages of his game and not be a fan of his game and not seeing his game at all, and then all of a sudden it turns around and then you turn around and become appreciative of his game. It's okay to switch from not liking a person to liking his game. You know what I'm saying? Say it's reverse status. We did that with Julius. We liked this game from last year. Then he did this, so now we don't like him. It's okay when a person changes your mind, you know what I'm saying, accordingly to his game. I like it. I like when I doubt somebody and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, he showed me different. You know what I'm saying? That shows me that, he really got the work ethic. He's going to put it in. He's working hard. He's trying to develop. You know what I'm saying? He's doing everything in his game that he can to assure you that I'm going to give you all I got. It's okay to be like that,
Yeah. And another thing that's very important too is that, don't forget, these guys get rookie contracts for a reason. So you got to see what they do throughout these 4 years. And I've always been a big proponent of that. I don't really judge guys like that until about a year and a half, 2 full seasons of playing consistent minutes, because, and we've seen, and I think Obi's a great example of that. Getting all those limited minutes, you don't get to see how he impacts the floor 20 to 30 minutes now, or 35 to 40 minutes now, and you see the drastic differences in him and his comfortability, his fluidity, and his synergy as well, and his rhythm out there. Just guys know what he does now, you see. So you notice in the last couple of games when he runs down the court, right, he seals that little defender. They're looking for that a lot more. You know why? Because it's an advantage. Who's the last guy back on transition defense? Smaller guards.
That's
Who
right.
can keep up with Obi going north and south? Not too many forwards. So that's going to be a disadvantage. And Obi's a willing passer. And Obi has decent court vision. So if they collapse, I don't see Obi forcing that up. I see him kicking it to the corner or kicking it to the wing. So my point is, with time, you get to see what guys like to do, what guys feel comfortable with, and you work that action and you get the best out of them, which is supposed to be the point of all of it.
Right. It was brought up before, like some people were picking at Obi because he's a basket hanger, you know what I mean? He's always leaking out. But you know what? Obi is the reason why we even have a chance to push the pace a lot of times. Obi and Quickley. And when you look at who runs the ball up and down the court, I'm not going to really point to Deuce because we haven't seen enough of it yet to say what he will or will not do consistently. But Quickley is the only guy that really gets up and down the court and pushes the pace when it comes to ball handlers on our team. RJ is just not as fast. He may push, but Quickley's faster than RJ. So when you got the combination of Quickley and Obi on the court, like, the pace of the game moves a lot better. We do see that Obi's a willing passer. He moves the ball. Even last night, being hot the way he was still moving the ball. He wasn't trying to force up bad shots. And really, it's a shame because it's one of those stats that the NBA should just get out of there. This dude was 6 of 9 from 3, and really he should have been 6 of 8 because he took a last-second half-court shot right before. Like, get that out of here, man. Don't even count that.
Hey, man, shout out to him for doing that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, like, the NBA should just get rid of that. That's those type of shots shouldn't even count, but whatever. It is what it is. I just think that he is a big reason why we even have a chance to push the pace. And if we didn't have Obi on this team, how much slower are we? You know, like, because we don't have that type of team speed on this team. Our veteran players are slower footed. Julius Randle is not the fastest up and down the court. RJ, we already know, is not the fastest up and down the court. He's got decent speed, but he's not fast. I mean, Obi laps him. Like exactly. I didn't realize how until the last couple games. I'll be honest with you. I knew Obi would leak out, but Obi's fast.
I saw guards not even be able to catch up to him.
Yeah,
when he's running down the court, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, so, I was kind of surprised because I wasn't really paying attention to it too much. But then I started to see like, yo, this guy's fast. Salute to the chat once again. I don't know if I already mentioned Paris Duggar, but if I didn't, salute to you, brother. Andy N, I see you. Margaret Edwards, Quentin is in the building. King Ribby, Big Shiesty. Thank you guys for tuning in. Rich Boy, I see you. Wacko, Agent Super Argo, movies and stuff. Yeah, man. I just wanted to shout you guys. Sherwin M, I see you. I just want to shout you guys out because I appreciate you all tuning in. You could be anywhere doing anything on this Saturday morning, but you here tuned in to still Knick fans, watching me chop it up with D's Ballin and Jay Boogie. I appreciate that. Sincere, Big L 139, Linux, what's going on?
Before you do that, we have 75 watching, only 28 likes right now. It takes 1 second. Just press that like button real quick.
Thank you, D. Appreciate that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I really wanted to talk about too is the fact that we're going to come back to Obi, but the fact that RJ had that little scare last night really bothered me, and it looked so like I gotta tell you, man, I felt like my, like when you not your heart stops, but you like get that lump in your throat, like, oh boy, what's going on? Because it was like a non-contact injury type thing, and it wasn't even where I could say that he landed wrong. I know it was awkward, but it made me worry, man. And I know it's not an Achilles type, but it really had me thinking like a meniscus type injury. So I hope he's good. I think it was the smart thing to not let him stay in that game, get him out of there. It don't make no sense to get him hurt.
That's a no-brainer, Ron.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Tibbs is the coach, so hold on. Yeah, but I was like, I hope they. And honestly, I think RJ's season is done. If it was me, he's done.
It should be.
He's done. I'm not bringing him back on Sunday. Get up out of here. Yeah, but I hope he's okay. Because that was a little scary. I don't know. What did you see? Did you see when RJ got hurt, Jay Boogie?
Oh yeah, man. When I saw that right there, I went way up here with my heart. Please, dude, get up, please. You know what I'm saying? He really has no business out there on the floor at all. Exactly. I don't know why. He don't have no business on the floor. It's nothing for him to prove. His agent shouldn't even have him out there on the floor. Yo, he got to sit down. All that. We're not playing for nothing. We're playing to see what these other guys got. RJ already done proven himself what he has, and he wasn't even supposed to be in that position of what he received from the guys that won't doing nothing this year. Remember at the beginning they was like, "Yo, RJ, we know you're doing this, blah, 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 but we need you to come in here. We need you to play the three. We need you to play defense." You know what I'm saying? We bring Evan in there, blah, blah, blah. So really, he slid from probably the number 3 option to the number 4 option. But then when all that went out the window, RJ started showing the signs and everything. So that's why, right now I got to get RJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to judge RJ's game right now until next season, because this is the first time where he's really getting a chance in the offseason to work on his game, to show that I am, have been noticed as, potential, the face of the franchise, or potential the second strongest piece if we get another killer to come amongst this team. You know what I'm saying? So let me raise my game up. He's been doing everything for the team. Now he's getting ready to get his skills, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go get myself together, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been up here with Ron, and I know how he do his thing, you know what I'm saying? So I had to cut the lights off for a minute, and you know what I'm saying, enjoy the club a little bit, and the drink, take some sips with you, man. Some legitimate tea.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Shout out to y'all great men, y'all great people out there, man, rocking in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Just as well as y'all listen to us, man. We sure enjoy listening to y'all or reading your texts and everything, man. I'm a fan of everybody, man. Blessings to y'all, man.
Facts.
Cool. And here's another thing about RJ too. In February, he played 40 minutes for the month. And March, he played 39 on average for the month. And this month so far, he's at 32 because of the 15 minutes yesterday. But he was at 34, 33, 45 against Brooklyn. Okay. And it's unnecessary. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason as to why to play him that many minutes. So I'm saying that, can I make the argument, whether it's right or wrong, can I make the argument that Tibbs has gotten RJ injured twice?
Listen, you wouldn't be wrong in saying that is definitely a high possibility. Even I think it was one of the announcers last night. It wasn't Clyde. I think it was an announcer, unless it was, it had to be. He had mentioned, man, RJ's been logging a lot of minutes on them legs. Could be, weakening the muscles a little bit. So, it's the end of the season. It's a lot of wear and tear.
And shout out to Rich Boy for making me think of that, because he made me think about going to the minutes. Let me see how many minutes he's been averaging and stuff like that. I think we could make a legitimate case.
I don't think you're wrong in that. And RJ, I mean, Julius was logging the most minutes. I don't know. RJ might have even passed him. I would be surprised to see what that number looks like, because RJ's been logging a lot of minutes. Salute to Karen Fung. What's going on, Karen? I see you. D-Raz in the building. What's going on? Soulfinger, what's happening?
Young E40, number 12.
Yes, sir. And not to be undone, my man John, still Knicks fans in the building. What's up? Here we go. Hold on.
Good.
Had to clear the throat, man. Every time I keep still making the same mistake. I'm supposed to drink water in the morning before I get my coffee. I keep doing it backwards, man. I'm backwards.
And shout out to Jose, the unsung hero, the man, the international man of mystery.
That's right, my man. Well, hey, you probably haven't witnessed it yet, D, but Jose is no longer the man of mystery. You guys check out the Still Knicks Fans show from Monday, the weekly. Okay. John wasn't able to be there, so I was holding it down, and Jose decided to do the reveal and surprise all of us. And he showed his face on the show, man.
There you go.
Check that out. If you're wondering what the mystery man looks like, check out this past Monday's Still Knicks Fans show. And you'll get to see Jose for the first time. Yeah,
no doubt, man.
That was a pretty good show, man. That was fun. So I think what I would like is, if it's possible, I'm not saying it has to happen. I mentioned this before, but I really want to see it now. I really want Obi in the offseason to work with Olajuwon, understanding how to use the dream shake and certain things, because I know now, I didn't know before. Now I know that Obi can handle those type of moves. He can get better at his low post stuff. He's got the quickness. He does certain things. His spin is pretty tight. It's not a bad spin move. We've seen it only maybe a handful of times where he does that little spin and he spins back around and he puts himself in a position for a nice little short maybe baby hook or a layup. I think working with Olajuwon would really help him. I also think it would help him learn how to be more effective with the mid-range, because he's taking a lot of these three-point shots, which is what the NBA is, but Obi could definitely come in a little bit closer to the 18 feet, 20 feet and pop. You know what I mean? He just needs that little bit of a jump shot just to keep the defense honest, because if they have to play, we talked about his speed. He can get by guys. That's going to take his game to the next level. He can get it consistently going, because we can see Obi can shoot. Look, all right, whatever we saw from Obi, I'm going to give Obi a huge pass, because Obi can't shoot consistently if he doesn't have enough reps. You tell me I'm going to shoot the shot, I might get maybe 7 to 9 attempts at shooting the basketball, and you're only allowing me really, out of those attempts, maybe 4 of them or 5 tops is from perimeter. Tough.
Check this out. In March, off 3 attempts, he's shooting 37.5. And in this month so far, off 7 attempts, he's at 48.
Obi needs touches, man. Obi needs touches to develop a rhythm. And you know, it's a shame because the other thing you was talking about it before, I think Julius has to see something here. He's got to see like the writings on the wall. If Julius is smart and his agent is smart, like someone said in the chat, they're looking at this and saying, well, Obi is playing well. He's young. He is cheaper than me. I can see the Knicks wanting to move on. And you know what? I don't know if I want to deal with another year of the fans screaming Obi while I'm out there on the court trying to help this team. That's honestly, like, you can't even be mad at Julius for that. You could be mad at him for some of his play or how he's carried himself throughout the season. But his mindset now at this point, you got to say, listen, that's something Julius got to think about. Like, because you think it's bad now. Next year, Julius makes any bad plays out there, these fans are going to be screaming Obi.
That's right. It ain't even RJ Barrett. It ain't even that no more. It's Obi Toppin. How can you handle that mentally? Like Ron just said, you couldn't handle it mentally, with RJ. Now, how you going to handle it mentally for somebody that's knocking on the door to get your spot? You know what I'm saying? So the office has a lot of decisions and a lot of things they need to get right. You know what I'm saying? In one more game. As soon as that last game ends, okay, it's time for the basketball players to go start playing basketball. What I mean, start working on your game, because you ain't played basketball this year. You was on vacation. Time to start playing basketball. Time for the office to start handling their business. Figure out what direction we going. You're gonna get some better light switch on leaders on this team, because veterans are different from leaders. Veterans is there just to get a check. Leaders are there to lead and show you how to get there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the right people that can turn the light switch on. If not, we can all just deal with you just bringing up the young crops. So, office, you need to figure out what you're going to do, Mr. Rose. What are you going to do? Because best believe, Dolan is not having this next year. You can believe that. He done gave us a break. He been chill this year, chill last year. He can't do this next season. He not having it, because he done everything we asked for him. And the most important thing, we asked for him to stay out the way. So we can't say nothing about Dolan this year. It's on you, Leon.
So, Jay brings up another great point, and I'll veggie back and add to it. The front office has many decisions to make. It's not just an Obi and Julius Randle thing.
That's right.
It's a point guard thing.
Yes.
It's a draft pick thing.
Yes.
It's a do we sign Mitch thing.
Yes.
Is it do we sign McCann Reddish thing?
Yes.
You see where I'm getting at? So now my question is that, do we trust the front office to be able to handle all this heavy decision making through this offseason and them come out looking competent going into next season?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't honestly see, we got so many question marks with this team and the organization, because it's all about what they should be doing. And then what will they do? And then are they competent to do it? Like, it's so many different. I don't know, bro.
That's right.
I really don't know. That's the scary part. Salute to Knicks Real Talk. What's going on, Divine? Good to see you, brother. Andy,
Divine God, good to hear that name, my brother.
Facts.
Haven't seen or heard from you in a minute.
What did Andy say? He just said something. I was just looking. Oh, if Julius is going to be afraid of Obi taking his minutes, what teams he wants to go to easily to beat out a starting power forward there? I think that's what you meant. Yeah, I hear you. I don't think Julius is really worried about Obi per se. Mm-hmm. Julius knows he can go out there and ball, and I'm sure Julius knows. I mean, if I'm Julius, I'm still thinking I'm the best player on this team. Like, I can do that, but it's bigger than that. I think right now for Julius, it's about the organization saying this guy's cheaper than you and might give us some of the production you're giving us now, and maybe one day give us same type of production. I'm not saying he will, because I don't know if Obi can be the type of rebounder Julius. Julius is a really good rebounder. He's really good at it. So, but regardless, Obi can still give you very good numbers and contribute to your team's success overall. And what he lacks in the polish and the scoring that maybe Julius has when he's going good, he makes up for in his speed, his ball movement, you know, he just has other intangibles that help this team go. So it's something they got to look at. And Julius definitely has to understand that I'm not worried about Obi per se, but the front office and these fans, because these fans are not letting, you know, once you get it, it's kind of like an you know, that whole thing growing up. And for any young people that may be watching this is, I'm telling you this now, this is a tidbit. You know, I'm gonna be 45 this year, actually in a month or so.
Blessings.
Wow, yeah.
Get old, man. Get old, man.
Nah, B, I don't
get old. What you mean, nah?
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, I can't even get into it. Yo, that's for another show, man. I be thinking about life lately. Like, damn, man, that was so long ago, man.
You saw that Big Daddy Kane thing with Matt Hoffa?
No, I'm gonna watch that later today.
Yeah. We're all
because Kane was bringing that up. Because Kane was bringing that up about the fact of like, don't be afraid to get old, because what's the opposite of getting old, and he's dropping a lot of jewels on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that, man. Because sometimes
appreciate your age, man, your numbers and everything. You know, I mean, I don't, you know what I'm saying, downgrade nobody that be putting that black in, you know, you 50-something years old, you know, you got grays and all that. I don't downgrade nobody doing that. But the way the life is today and what's happening in society, our youngest not even getting a chance to be middle-aged people, you know what I'm saying? So just me personally, I appreciate me being able to make it beyond my 50s and appreciate me being able to do the things that I do, you know what I'm saying? When they call me OG, and I'll be like, yeah, man, but what I need you to do, I need you to go further than OG. Be older than me, man. Stop stopping your age group category, you know what I'm saying, at the ages 15 to 25. That's what I need y'all to do, you know what I'm saying? So I love when I'm old and I got gray and everything. I don't hide that, man. I love this beauty, man. I got straight hair. I ain't got a Stephen A. Yeah.
I hear you. And you know what it is? I feel you, Jay Boogie. Just real quick, I'm with you on that. I agree. That's how you should live life. That's how you should think about it. And I'm sure, like, you know, you a little older, maybe just a year or two older than me now. I'm sure you've been hearing OG a little longer than I've been hearing it, but I just been recently hearing OG, and I'm getting used. I don't know if I'm ready to his, like, yo, state be calling me OG. I'm like, damn, I am, man. Like,
you got to embrace that, brother.
Yeah, man, it's happening.
Don't fight
bro.
that.
I'm like, oh man, I can't believe this. This is crazy. Well, anyway, what I was gonna say before is, I think that one of the things that you learn over life with relationships between friends, girlfriends, whatever it is you go through. But here's the thing: when you learn between a relationship between a significant other, right? You work at it, but then sometimes there's problems, right? But if you guys decide to part ways and split, you come back together, it may be okay, but it's never the same. And once Julius did what he did this year, and the fans started booing him and saying stuff to him, you guys can see it's never gonna be the same, because now they got it in the back of their head that, one, we don't like you for whatever reason. Then we rocked with you, and then you gave us another reason to start booing you again. So that's the thing. Like, Julius has been through a boo phase. He started to play better basketball, and then he got back to a boo phase again. Once it's come back, that's it. It's there. Now, for any little thing that this guy does, he's going to get the boo birds. And the fact that Obi has shown the Knicks something, Knicks fans something that they haven't seen from him all year, and they've been wanting. Now they're like, you know how it is. You know how fans are to begin with, but Knicks fans especially, they're looking like Obio. He might be the one. Like, you know how it is. You know what's going on right now. So I'm just saying, I don't, Andy. I think Julius them days is numbered, man. Them days counting them down, bro. I don't know. But yeah,
there's a lot of evidence to support that.
There is.
And I've been a fan of Julius. I love Julius. Yeah, I remember I dropped the myth. You know what I'm saying? I dropped the thumbs up, thumbs down, trying to help the guy get his mind right. But I love the names on the front of the jerseys more than I love the names on the back. And if you're a problem for the, you know what I'm saying, the team, if you're a problem for the fan base, if you're a problem for the organization, then you need to be, you know what I'm saying, maneuvered from that spot, so we can continue to move on, man. Now, I don't doubt the guy got game. He got skills, you know, his size, man. He got game, but it's up here. you know, and that's the worst part of
and
your
in
game.
here. And in here.
Yeah. That's the worst part of your game, man. You got to figure it out, man. Figure it out.
I agree, man. I agree. Look, I wish the best for Julius. You know, best case scenario, guys, I don't see it happening. Best case scenario is that the Knicks come back next year, Julius balls out, Obi gets a chance to play 20-plus minutes, maybe 20-plus minutes, maybe 20, 18, 20, around there consistently, and can continue off of what he's shown us in these last few games this year. And then the Knicks, you know, whether they find the point guard or not, maybe Quickley expands his role and takes his game a little bit more to the next level. RJ goes into the offseason this year, works on his free throw shooting, and works on his finishing around the rim. If RJ can just consistently he has to make a concerted effort. Free throws is one thing. He's got to work on that. We know that. I think his free throw shooting can get better, and it will get better. But his finishing around the rim, I don't know if he's got to raise his arm angle from where he's releasing the ball. Whatever he's got to do, he's got to change that around. I think it's broken a little bit. I think it's a little bit broken because the way he misses so many close opportunities, he gets his shot blocked a lot. We know he's not the most athletic, but I've seen guys who are unathletic finish at the rim better than what he's been doing. So I think it might be positioning, his release point. There's certain things that he needs to get into the lab with Drew Hanlon or whoever he's working with and really work on that. And if he does that, RJ instantly will become even better next year. You know, that 20-point scoring average that he got to this year will go up to 21 or 22 easily just by making those corrections. It's like a person who's big and decides I want to go on a diet. They stop eating unhealthy for 2 weeks and they drop like 30, 40 pounds instantly. You know what I mean? It happens quick because it's a shock. And that's all he's got to do, to me, is really work on, you know, whatever his release is, his launch angle, however you want to call it, with regards to layups, and that's going to help him. Because one thing about RJ this year, we could say he's gotten to the line more than we've ever seen him get to the line in the past. That's great, of course, because the fouls, the refs were not giving Julius foul calls. They definitely weren't giving RJ the foul calls, and he still complains a little bit. But sometimes I know he kind of, you know, embellishing. I took a bad shot. Where's the foul? You know what I mean? You know how that is. That's the NBA.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that he needs to work on that type of stuff. And I know, D, you pointed to the stats of what it looked like from him finishing around the rim and in the paint. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I can name you 2 small guards that shoot better than him in the paint, and they have almost just about as many attempts. Darius Garland and Trae Young. So I think an issue with it is that if you look at him mechanically, when he finishes at the rim, see, he already has a vertical issue, right? And so he's got that working against him. And then he also has not a very strong ball handling issue either. So, like, for example, like a James Harden gets where he wants to get because he's a big guy like RJ is, but he has ball handling and he also has great footwork, which RJ does have to improve on heavily this offseason. Another thing, too, is that if you notice on RJ, on his layups, especially now, you're noticing that he's looking for the contact to be bailed out to get to the free throw line before he's worrying about him extending, putting his body to that bucket and finishing the play. So I'm a little concerned about that because I don't want him to get into bad habits of looking for the ref for a whistle instead of finishing the play. So RJ Barrett, I mentioned this on the show the other day at KMD, that, well, KAD these days, but
right.
Shout out to Kobe for that KAD stuff. But he has a big 4th year coming, and he's gonna have to make a leap. I'm sorry, as far as efficiency wise, a lot of guys in this league can take 20 shots and score 20 points a game, bro. Okay. But not everybody can be efficient in doing it. So we're not asking him to be, what's the gold standard? What is it, 90, 40, 50 or something like that, whatever it is?
Oh, right.
I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking for you just to be more efficient in what you do and to make a leap with that and learn how to read the floor a little bit better, you know, be more intensive defensively. Second half of the season, he has looked atrocious defensively, on ball and off ball. he gets at least 2 back doors a game. Don't know him. So he has a big 4th year coming, and it's good to see. I want to see the best for him, and I want him to be hungry enough in order for him to be deserving of a good contract. I'm not sure about max, but deserving of a good contract, something he'll be happy with, is something we'll be satisfied with as a fan base and an organization. I think that would be fantastic for him. So something to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, yeah. What are you gonna say, Jay Boogie?
I was saying jokingly, we might need to call Carl Weathers, you know what I'm saying, and Rocky 3 and take RJ and take him to California and get his footwork, you know, differently, you know what I'm saying, get him some rhythm or whatever.
Start chasing some chickens.
Yeah, they went out there. He chased the chickens in what, 1 or 2. Then when he went out there, they went, you know what I'm saying, changing this, you know, format. But yeah, man, that's a big thing you just said. What are we going to pay that guy, man? What are we going to pay him?
Yeah, I think unfortunately for RJ, I mean, maybe it's not a big deal to RJ, because the one thing, I mean, listen, I love RJ's character. It's the reason why he's my favorite player on the Knicks. And I think he'll be okay with it. He knows this is a grind. He's in it for the long haul. He's not trying to be one of them 4-year NBA players and out. You know, just listening to Steve Nash, his godfather, talk about him and his work ethic and knowing who he is as a player, you know, RJ is going to work at it. So it's a shame for him, because had he been a little bit more consistent and better at this point, he would have got his max or been locked up now. But it's fair to say that the Knicks do need to kind of allow him to push himself for another season before they give him the money, and he should respect that, knowing that he is improving, but there's certain things that he needs to be more consistent at. And the Knicks have see, that's the thing, like, you got to look at the sum of all your parts and the position you're in. The Knicks can do that with RJ being the only guy. Can't do that. Like, if Cam was here and Cam was in the same situation as RJ, but we still had RJ, you couldn't do that with Cam, because what the Knicks can tell RJ is, listen, we need you to work on this, do this, get more efficient, more consistent at this. You're our guy here. We're going to build around you. And we will talk about the contract at the end of this year, and we'll get you right. They can tell RJ that, because RJ could be the man of this team. They can't say that to Cam, because you know that you just can't afford that. So I think RJ understands that, and RJ knows that this team is starting to shift. It's becoming his team now. So he's okay with that. He's like, I'm going to get paid. I just got to keep working on what I got to do. So I think that's a benefit for the Knicks to be able to be in that position with him. And he's a heady guy. Like, he understands this stuff.
Yeah. As long as you understanding that and knowing that you becoming the face of the franchise, the people are happy with it, the organization are happy with it. Yo, call your agent. Tell him to get on his job, because he could become the biggest endorsement player we ever had. He can have more endorsements than Melo. He can knock, you know what I'm saying, Julius Slam out the box, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a young guy, you know what I'm saying? He's a real, you know, good-headed, headed-minded type person. He's lovable. So the endorsement deals should come out the window for him this offseason right here. But I need my agent to go handle that, especially if I don't get, you know what I'm saying, if the Knicks is not talking about, you know, trying to want me to wait more year. I need you to fill them endorsements all the way up right here, right now for me, man. Since we got to wait one more year, improve one more year, get that endorsement money, man, because New York got it.
Oh, yeah. That's the money problem is not an issue at all, bro.
Yeah,
that's there. and don't let the Knicks figure out a way to get Zion. Could you see the advertisements? Those 3 are going to be everywhere. It's because the new Fab 3, whatever they want to call them, they're going to be coming up with all types of ways to push that if they could get him.
Man, I was just at the last game, the Hornets game, you know, at the Garden, and I went inside the NBA store, and I was up in there, and they had the Zion shoes up in there, right? And I tried to get me a pair of them. Dude told me, he said, yo, these Zion shoes, we can't even keep them in here. We ain't got but 2 pair, and they on the shelf. One's a 9 and one's a 10. They ain't had no more big boy size. As soon as they've been hitting the door, they've been flying right out the window. So somewhere in the media, somewhere, you know, I'm a funny type dude. I look for symbols and signs. Somewhere, people buying them Zions because they know he coming, man. They know he coming. If he come, hey, pray you stay healthy, boy. We got something crazy going on.
Yeah, man. I would definitely love to see. I was actually watching, because I guess the whole thing with what's going on with Duke and Coach K, hanging it up and retiring. I started watching some old Duke games. I even went back, to older games with RJ, Zion, and Cam. Zion's a really good player, man. Like, he's dominant because of his size and his force and his leaping ability, but he passes the ball. He does a lot of good stuff out there on the court. His defense may be something that they need to work at, but his ability to block shots and get off his feet quickly and do things like that kind of makes up for. And that, that's today's NBA. A lot of guys are not great defensively. They just do enough to kind of stay in the scheme of the team's defense,
right?
And that's enough a lot of times. But it's sad to see how the Knicks lose out on players, man. Because I tell you, I was watching the game last night between Phoenix and Utah, and watching Mikal Bridges, man. Like, damn it, we could have Mikal here.
Yeah,
oh, this kid is good, B.
That was our three. That was our three, boy. But it's okay. Something gonna happen, man. Every now and then I like to jump all the way out the window, just imagine things. You know what I'm saying? Could you just imagine if we have RJ at the 2, Cam at the 3, Zion at the 4, and then you look over there on our bench and see that coaching staff, and you see Mike Krzyzewski with that black suit on.
Yeah, I see you. Okay. I mean, listen, man, that's a nice. I'll be happy with that, bro.
I just like the drift, y'all. I just like the drift, man. We deserve
wrong with that, man.
We deserve the drift when we come off bad seasons.
The one thing that I also wanted to point out is that the Knicks last night, if you look at the team that's on the court, like I really look at who was out there. Minus no Grimes, no Julius Randle, no Cam Reddish, on and on and on. No Derrick Rose. I'm not throwing Kimba in it. Kimba's on the team, but I'm not throwing Kimba in it. But just look at the players that we don't have on the court, and look at who we had on the court. And granted, I know Washington didn't have Porzingis, but Washington, they are what they are, and that team has played pretty good with the addition of Porzingis and not having Beal and stuff. They look pretty good out there, considering they didn't have a lot of great talent, when you think about it. And then RJ got hurt, and they didn't miss a beat against this particular Wizards team. They were playing pretty good, and it just makes you think, like, it's about how you orchestrate offense, the confidence that these guys have on the court. And if you can instill that, if you believe in your players and instill confidence and know that no matter who they go up against, they have a shot. When the ball tips off, you're in the game. Now, what happens between that tip off and the final buzzer, that's on you. But you always have a shot. And I think that mindset and them being, willing participants and buying in, and the coaching staff allowing these guys to play and believe in themselves says a lot. And I swear to you, I don't want Tibbs out of here just for him to be out of here. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I don't like Tibbs, he's got to go. No, I want Tibbs to just do the right thing. I would love for Tibbs to be here for the next 3 years playing or coaching in the right way, giving us what we need as an organization. If he can do that, man, I would be happy. I just need this guy to he's got to like open his mind up, man. Johnny Bryant's got to, really, whatever he's talking to him about, whatever, he's got to be able to get in. And maybe they need to bring in, look, we lost 1, 2. We just lost 2 coaches, right? Was it 2 or 3 altogether this year?
Kenny Payne.
Yeah, we lost Kenny Payne and we lost Woody, right?
So but Woody was last year, wasn't it? Yeah, because he was Indiana.
Woody was early this year, I think.
Yeah.
Early this year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. My fault. Because what was last season, towards the end, when we went on that 16-something run?
No. It was this year. Yeah. Woody was early this year. Yeah. So we lost Woody and we lost Kenny Payne. So first off, we got to figure out who they're going to bring in to replace these guys. And I hope they have the same type of cachet and maybe they bring something rather than just being instrumental on developing a certain type of player. Maybe they have, a good offensive mindset. Somebody that another person that Tibbs can bounce ideas off of, that, or they can give ideas to Tibbs on how he can expand the offense. Because if we can do that, and Tibbs plays some of these guys the way they should, because you know what, this is what's going to happen, guys. It still doesn't point to anything changing. This just points to Tibbs. Obi's going to get more minutes next year because Obi showed that he deserves more minutes in Tibbs's eyes. Now Tibbs wants to compare Obi to a young Taj Gibson. Like, when you see these things, already, okay, Obi's made the next class. So next year, I expect Obi to get more minutes, but that still doesn't change the mindset that Tibbs needs to be a little bit more willing to give these guys minutes, maybe before they've met his personal criteria. You know what I mean? Because a guy like Deuce hasn't really shown anything yet in Tibbs' eyes. So you can expect him to be playing, getting the same type of minutes he got this year, next year. And if we get maybe a change or two at the point guard spot, who knows how much Tibbs is going to play Deuce. We'll see, man.
So you see, I knew I wasn't tripping. It was last March 28th that he accepted the job for Indiana.
Last March?
Yeah. Because I remember he wasn't on the bench with them during that Hawks series.
You know what? You're right.
Damn it,
you're right.
Bro. Yep.
Yeah, I almost had me tripping there for a second. I was like, wait, man.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm talking about getting old, man.
Embrace it,
bro. Wow, I can't believe that was last year. Your time is flying, man. The concept of space and time is lost on me.
No problem,
bro. Space-time continuum. I'm lost out here, guys. I'm in another alternate universe.
Right. You all good, man. Multiverse.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. Damn it. That was a whole year ago. That's nuts. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is, guys. Thank you, D, for looking that up, man. Yeah, I can't believe that. That's crazy. Salute to Robert Bruce. Salute to Geraldine McIver. Rayology, what's going on, brother? Worldwide L, what's good, bro? E. Gibson. Yeah, L, by the way, I saw you come into the chat the other day on one of the shows, and I just got it off. So I want to give you a salute and shout out, brother. Thank you for tuning in. As always. Quality Jumper, I see you. Deron Wayne, what's good?
Margaret Edwards seems new.
No, Margaret Edwards.
Oh, she been here?
Yeah, she's a official tissue. She
okay.
Our first Still Knick Fan show. She was one of like the two people we had. I was like,
oh wow,
you, Margaret Edwards.
Shout out to Margaret.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Stafford Don, what's going on? More fire, rhythm beats, rewind selector. He probably hates that. It's like, yo, I come on, man. But he be killing me, man. I'm gonna give you a shout out, Stafford, but I don't like you, man. This dude be hitting me with all, because he knows I'm a Met fan. He's a Yankee fan. He be hitting me on my Twitter, all this Yankee nonsense. Man, get out of here, bro.
Baseball season just started, right?
Yeah, it just started. What's good, Cully? I see you. Stephen Foxy in the building, dropping gems.
Professor Fox.
You are someone that has left an imprint, Fox. You know what? You always got some interesting stuff, and people take these nuggets. D is one of those who is always respectful and mindful of your little nuggets that you be dropping. So thank you, Foxy.
And that's Fox too, but also to anybody that drops anything that is noteworthy, and that I always give the credit, I always give the due. That's no problem off my back.
David Johnson, what's good? I think I already shouted out JJ, but if I didn't, once again, what's up, JJ? And salute to my man Soulfinger. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, what's going on, fellas? Hey, man, look, I saw you on. I was like, I'm getting myself ready. Bigger Girl got an event today.
Oh, so okay.
And she always got me moving, man. It's getting ready to start. Man, look, and you guys talking about age, and like I was saying, I'll be 50 and frisky this year. So
50 and frisky, I like that.
Yeah, man, look, I'm looking forward. Actually, I'm looking forward to it, man, because not everybody can say they're blessed to be still breathing and be above, be not pushing up daisies, Think about how many cats that we grew up with that didn't make it or whatever, whatnot, be him or other, you know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to be able to do that. And, I'm one of those cats. I started, I had another one, had others late in life, had kids later. Look, boy, I got older ones, of course, because I am a granddad and all, but to have them a little later.
So you got real low. Can't really hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
There you go. You back.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm saying I got, having, kids at too late in life, but I got older ones because my oldest one to be 30. Shit. Yeah. 30 this year.
Wow.
Wow. Man. Okay.
No such thing as having kids late.
Yeah, man. Look, hey, this is when you start over again, and then you realize when you could be, empty nester. You're like, man, what the hell was I? Oh.
Right.
But,
yeah, man.
hey,
but appreciate you being here. I know that your time is limited, but thanks for jumping in anyway.
Oh man, look, I'm always in the background listening. I hadn't been able to get in with the morning drive and everything with work, but I'm always listening. I got it on. Hey, shout out to again. Hey, D. Look, D is balling. Is I if I had to say, he's kind of like, he's more or less like he's like the Inquisitor / the I said Paris Duggar, he holds feet to the fire, but you got to have them facts when you're dealing with Deke. And I appreciate the fact that you give an education on that, because you can't by just spewing out nonsense. Some people get in emotions, whatever. D has a way to bring it back and bring it with facts. And I love facts. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That's what it is.
No, they don't. Thank you for that, so appreciate that.
And then Boogie, hey, like I said, hey Boogie, if I can get you out here next season, man, to talk to our team. You the motivational speaker, man. I swear you could probably get a bunch of non-running midgets to jump in front of a train and put the Superman hands up and stop that joke.
That's right. They got it. Better stop it. You better stop it. Or you know what it's going to do to you. Maybe we might see what happened about that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might take a trip out to California and see the Laker game or something. We can link up or something, man.
Man, look, I'm down for it. Like I said, and then with Ron, hey, as usual, man, brother, love the positivity, love the energy. I just had to get in and get some of that before I get going. And I don't want to just give out a love, show some love to the fellas, man. The cats have been holding it down in the pod world. That's keeping us going. Because like I said, this is not a good year. It hadn't been a good year. It was so bad. I was talking to Freezy about it. You had Knicks fans turning on Knicks fans because we were playing so bad. That's crazy. I mean, granted, yeah, you had that, but some of the stuff that was going on, man, it's just unreal. That's how bad the season was. I'm going to stay positive about the offseason because, you know what? I like what I'm seeing with the young guys that are getting a chance to play. You just build upon it and just look towards the future. You can't change the past, but you can affect the future. And, okay, we're going to have Tibbs next year. It is what it is. But, tomorrow's not written. So we see how things go, man. That's all it is. Yep. And just enjoy the last couple of games we got. Look at what you got going on, and go from there, man. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And thank you for that, Soulfinger. Appreciate the kind words, man. Definitely salute to you. And salute to Andrew K, Antoine Nicholas. See you, and also salute to my man Max Cali. Thank you guys for tuning in. What? Let me put this up real quick because you know what? Show love where love is due. Gotta give him some love, man. See what he did last night. I'm Obi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Obi getting his highlights on.
Drop it on your head.
You know what I mean? Like this is look at how Obi moves on the court though. Look at how comfortable he is. His follow through on his shot. He's just in another, like when he's just able to go out there and play. You know what I really liked about Obi last night too? It seems little and silly, but I look at it like that says something about Obi because Obi likes to play around and joke with his guys. But notice when he was getting interviewed, if you saw Deuce came over and tried to play around, he was like, chill out. Because Obi is like, he knows, man, you got to be professional and be in the right space when you need to be. He jokes. But that was a moment where, he was like, yeah, let's get it together. You like that. You like that from your young guys.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Moments can be moments, but we still can't look over the fact that we had a bad season. And that's probably what Obi was, relating to him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In a different tone when he's telling him to chill out. All this right here is okay, man, but I'm not happy about what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And that's the type attitude guys need to take into the off season and prepping up. You should want a speedy off season. You should want the speedily for the summer league to be open. You should speedily hope that the camp will open back up. You should speedily hope and get ready for the regular season. I mean, for the preseason. And that leads into, regular season, man.
Yeah, man. Look at that. A 4-point play from Obi. Crazy. And we had 2 4-point plays in this game. Missed the 4-point play himself. Quickley got one too.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you he could say I got a 4-point play too now, because Quickley is like the general of that.
Yeah, he's
for real
getting those.
You know what? And to follow up on what Boogie was saying, he was I got 35 tonight, but we're not going to the playoffs. We had a bad season, so it was good, but I'm not in about, because I took the way Obi was like, yeah, it was cool, but it's all about the team. The team didn't do what we needed to do to get where we need to get.
Right.
So if you looking at how he was with Deuce, that should be encouraging. I don't care how you feel about anything else. That should be encouraging, because that's the kind of leadership that the team needs. You need that kind of leadership in your locker room. And for Obi to display that at a young age like that, that's promising. That's a positive. You got to look at, it's dark, but the sun does break through the clouds. You can see some light, some rays of light. That's a ray of light that you should look at and should want.
Yep. Look at that move by Obi. That's what I'm talking about, man. Obi got some stuff.
I seen Quickley last night, you know what I'm saying? Because the way they developed their chemistry and everything together, I seen him last night. Obi shot a tray, he missed it. You know what I'm saying? Laid on right, not more than 2-3 possessions. He went right back to him to let him know, let me make sure you off, fella. And he knocked that one down. You know what I'm saying? The confidence that they're building amongst one another, you know what I'm saying? You can't break that up. That's a tandem. They work together. They go together. They hang out together. They practice together. They know one another's weakness. They know where one another should be. They quickly know where to give them the ball and where not to give them the ball. Obi know how to screen for him, how to get him open. That's a tandem that's growing slowly,
Keep
slowly.
them together.
Yeah, together.
That makes sense. Sense.
Neither one of y'all can gloss over that, like Ron would say. You can't just gloss over that. You have to say that again. You got to keep them together.
Yeah.
We saw that at the beginning of it in Summer League.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Paris Duggar said Obi is a different specialty for us. We never get easy buckets. And yeah, Obi is the best at getting easy buckets for us. That's why I thought he was so important coming into this year. I thought a guy like that who can not stretch the floor, who can push the pace and get those leak out transition baskets and stuff. I thought we needed that. That's why I thought there was a lot of value in him.
I was watching the game and they did they were showing the stats, and we're 30th. We were 30th in ISO. 30th in assists, low, but we're high on ISO. That was something they were talking about. And then also I was watching, of course, it was the Washington crew that was talking about it. And our pace. Obi is like a one-man fast break. He forces everybody to run, because he's cherry picking or whatever else. Cherry picking or whatever we want to call it. If he's getting down the court, and as I think D said it earlier when I was listening, you got a lot of 4s and 5s can't keep up with Obi. You got some 3s that can't keep up with Obi.
Mm-hmm.
So him leaking out doing that, that's a bucket. A bucket is a bucket. Even if he doesn't get the bucket, he's putting pressure on the defense. And it can help open up things for other players. So you got to look at what he brings to the table. Don't talk about what he can't do. Look at what he does. And that's what a lot of the players. Don't look at the player what our guys don't do compared to the other. Look at what they do and let them grow, because we have a young team. Minus the veterans, right? We have a young team. That's what we forget. I always like to look at it, and I compare. The comparison I like to look at is the Grizzlies. That's a young team. That's a young team that's making moves and is doing something. And that's kind of like for what we have with the youth, that could be a quasi say blueprint for what we could build towards with a little touch of what San Antonio's done as an organization. You got to look at other, you know, it's a copycat league. So look at what's working. I think a blueprint for us could be the Grizzlies. Granted, yeah, they got a job, but the thing is, they've been busting people's head to the white meat without job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good point.
Exactly.
That's a good
do
point.
me a favor, Ron. Highlight Stafford's comment because he says that he wants to see it against starters, and he has shown it against starters. In Brooklyn, he had 19 points. Against Cleveland, he had 20 points. In Chicago, he had 17 points. Against Miami, he had 15 points. Against Charlotte, he had 18 points. And all those games, they had most of their starters in there.
Right.
So he is doing it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. I understand what you're saying, Stafford, because you look at the most recent, and it's in your mind, like because he comes off the bench, does he do a lot of this? But you know, he's been starting more. But even when he was coming off the bench, you know, he was still out there on the court against when the starters came back in. Like at that point when he was doing well, Tibbs did have him out there, and he was putting up the same type of effort, these same type of numbers. I think Obi can do it against anybody. It's just Obi has to be given the opportunity to play out there and be comfortable with, you know, all right, go ahead, take some shots, young man. You know what I mean? That's what it has to be. But I think he can do it. And I can't find it. I just looked through this twice, man. I saw it earlier. Someone in the chat had mentioned something. We've talked about it in the past, but just to elaborate it again, someone had said, do you think Obi and Randle can coexist together? And honestly, I think they could, but you're talking about coexisting together with a coach who can use them properly. And I don't know if we have that. So that's the problem. Under the way Tibbs currently runs the team, no, they can't coexist together because they both can be on the court at the same time, but they're not gonna. The only one who benefits from that is Randle. When Randle's on the court with Obi can't feel free to do what he needs to do out there because Randle takes a spot where Obi would flourish at, and you know, it just is what it is. But if you play both of them separately, you know, then you can get something out of both of them. But you have to understand that it's just the same way you see Obi getting the ball now. And I said this before, guys. I know it was just the summer league, but the Knicks featured Obi in the summer league, and Obi was getting points. I mean, he averaged 20-something points. He made the all summer league team. You know, I know it's just the summer league, but the point is they were using him, and he was averaging 20-something points. So,
I'm sorry to rhyme.
You got to be able to use them.
You know, I was going to say this, but you know, have a lot of folk were downplaying it because it was the summer league and it's not certain competition. But considering the fact that Obi didn't get a lot of burn in his rookie season, for him to be able to do that against cats on the same level, that should have been more encouraging. You know, I'm just, like I said, I'm looking at what he can do and the possibility of his growth. If you, I'm gonna use a D balling word right here, if you nurture it the right way.
That's right.
Hey, that's, I mean, that's the word though. You got to nurture and you got to grow it and take the time. Everybody develop at different times and different levels. All right. You know, like I said, Ron 6'5". He may and he may play against another cat, same position, same height, but Ron may excel faster than the other guy. Doesn't mean that this cat is a scrub. It's just that Ron is developing different ways. We all do things differently. Not everybody at the age of 1 or started walking or, you know, whatever. Everybody started walking at different times. So you got to give them that time. And then the whole thing of pitting Obi against Randle. Yeah, Randle did because of the way Randle was ahead of him. Yeah, it does slows Obi's growth. But it's a team. It's a team thing. I say, you know, let's, you know, as a whole, and I'm guilty of it too. Just start pitting them against one another. Or you got the Obi faction over here, you got the Randle faction over here, you got this faction. At the end of the day, it should be the faction that says New York Knicks, not the New York Obies, the New York Timbers, the New York whatever else. Right. It's the New York Knicks. Right. And that's the way we need to be looking at it, man. I mean, seriously, we got to stop that, man. As a fan base, as a nation, man. You know, and look at what could be, and stop talking about who can't do what, and look at what they can do. That's all.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with that. And your facts, man, you're right. I like that analogy you use because I am 6'5", but Ron had a jumper. Don't sleep. Don't. Okay, sorry. My fault.
Okay.
Man,
So you telling me it was easy to find you, huh?
It used to be there. It used to be.
What you saying, Ron? Hey, Ron, you saying you're no longer a playground legend?
Yeah, man. I'm more like playground cheerleader. Yeah. Go ahead, y'all. Do your thing.
Oh no, trust me, I understand, man. Like I said, I got a credit card leak right
now. Yo, that's funny.
Hey, I got a question for you because I know you probably want to speed into it, but I want to ask you a question that to bring it to the point. I know that he's not better than Mitch, but if Mitch decided to go on with his life, do we have somebody capable in Sims that can step up and fulfill the role? Or do we need to go shopping?
That's
how about a little bit of both? Because
that's a really good question.
Because you want to protect yourself just in case his development or he doesn't show up. But the good thing about it is that if you decide to sign Sims, he's only going to be like $1 million, $2 million. So right. You won't lose much if he doesn't produce, and then you still go shopping and you still got something there for support. And if he does produce, you only got him for $1 million, $2 million. So you don't lose either way on that.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I mean, I can't say it better. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
and it's about like the Knicks might have to take a page out of New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. Everybody's expendable over there. It's cheaper to use these young guys and try to figure out how to incorporate them into your mix. I would love, honestly, look, I want to bring Mitch back, but if Mitch wants to walk, fine. Let Mitch walk. At least convince him to do a sign and trade so we get something. And you know what? Go out there and get yourself a stretch big. Take a stretch big with Jericho. Honestly, I think we'd be better off. And I'm not saying it's not a knock against Mitch. I like Mitch, but it's something about like I don't love having a Mitch and a Jericho. Like they're similar type players. Mitch is better right now than Jericho.
Yeah,
but they are similar skill set. They're if they can figure out a way to get us a stretch, even if it's a guy like I think you mentioned it before, Boogie, and other people like a Kelly Olynyk or somebody. Like I don't know. We shopping at the bargain basement. We gotta do what we can do.
I was saying that name in the off season when we were doing all that. Instead of bringing Nerlens back, I was like, why don't you get a Kelly Olynyk who can play? He can play the 4 and the 5. I'm looking at the matchup with him. He's a blue collar guy, doesn't need the ball, but he plays defense, and he's a lunch pail kind of cat. That's what we need. We need that garbage guy, a garbage man that can go in, and he's durable.
Somebody that can do more than just two things, multiple skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can face up, shoot the shot, can pass, can post, multiple things. That's what we need to offset. You know what I'm saying? A Mitch or offset a Sims. Just don't bring in the same person that does exactly what what Mitch does or what Sims does, so you can have a different look. Yeah, I agree. Kelly would have been a good pickup. Anybody would have been a good pickup over Noel. He didn't do nothing but use all the headbands on the roster, man. Nobody else can get a headband.
I mean, for real.
Holding the braids in.
He used all the head. He had all the headbands. He used all the ace wrap, man.
You know what the thing about Mitch though is that we are 3rd or 4th in the league in opponents' points in the paint, and a gigantic reason for that is Mitchell Robinson. And I like Sims. He's bouncy. We get attracted to seeing these young guys grow before our eyes and stuff like that. Right. But I will keep it realistic. His rim protection and his interior defensive protection is nowhere near the level of Mitchell Robinson.
Nowhere near. You're right about that.
Not there.
So I would like to see Mitch in this capacity. If we're running this over again and Mitch leaves, I won't blame him, and I won't have no hard feelings towards him because I get it. That trio of Mitch, Noel. Well, it was Noel. With Sims too. Now we can add him too. And who's the other guy? And Taj. They have the lowest trio of ball usage among centers in the league. They just don't see the basketball. So, and I think a lot of that was being heavily dependent on Julius Randle to run the offense. He's running options with Evan. And then when you insert Burks, that gets shorter because Burks can't really play make for people like that on a consistent basis. So
Right.
it becomes a whole thing. But if we're going to move off from Julius, which I think would be in our best interest to do so for an infinite amount of reasons, we would definitely have to bring Mitch back to this fold and see how he plays with this young core and them running. We've never seen Mitch in the last 2 years really run up and down like that. We just haven't seen it. So it would be something attractive to see. I think he could be a lob threat every possession. And especially with that defensive interior presence, I think our points in the paint, opponents, it will be gold next year. And that would lead us in a lot of transition with these young guys trying to get out. So it would be something nice to see.
Yeah, and one thing that I look at, and just a quick fix, and I'm not saying that he is the exact answer, like he makes up for everything that Taj does. But if the Knicks decide not to
Thank you.
use Taj next year on the team, maybe he'll still be on the team, but more of a he'll be that bench guy and they just won't give him the same minutes. He'll take up one of the spots. I think a guy that they could really look at, now I know he's not there, but Amir Sims is a guy that can give us Taj type play. He's not as savvy and as smart as Taj. Taj has been through it, but you know what I mean? Like, why can't the Knicks look to a guy like Amir Sims? To me, it's an upgrade because of his youth. The guy can stretch the floor too. He can shoot a little bit. He was playing some pretty good defense when they did use him, even though, he was caught out of position here and there, but that's what's going to happen when you're not used to it. I think that's a guy the Knicks can cheaply just say, hey, let's just add him to our team. You know what I mean? Outside of all the other stuff they could do. And I think your point, D, that, you and Foxy were talking about, like maybe getting that guy in the draft, a big who can, stretch the floor a little bit and, give you some.
You talk about Jalen Williams? Yeah.
Right.
Well, shout out to Fox. He showed me the light, and then I started watching it. I was like, holy crap. And then, and then our conversation took it to another level. But yeah, he's a guy. Well, the thing is that we don't know if he's going to come out. He said that he was going to test the combine, but he hasn't totally taken out the idea of returning back to Arkansas. Okay. And I could see that because if he feels that his draft stock is not where it should be, he could go back to Arkansas and they'll probably be a Sweet 16 top 8 type of team next year, and his draft stock might rise a little bit more. So, but he's a guy, just real quick, he's a guy that a great court vision for that size, man. And it's just, I love guys like that. I just love guys that can see the floor. He can stretch the floor. He's willing to put his body out there for charges. Fox has a number of exactly how many charges he took this year. And he just, he's a guy that is very versatile at that position. And it's not too many guys that you find like that center position, that versatile. So definitely a sweeper.
Yeah, that's something that I think the Knicks need to kind of look at, because you kind of go with what are you going to have available for you in free agency that you can afford right off the bat, because maybe you can get a guy like that if he does come out and he falls to you wherever that pick would be. And, maybe you can add that and then say, okay, well, we'll work with this. And then, whatever we do with our other pick, we'll work with that. And now we can figure out, okay, now what's left to get on the roster where we can make a trade or somebody to kind of round out what we got going on. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do, but I definitely think that, one thing I think could help the Knicks too is to bring in another player that is a good defender. I don't care what position it is. You say you want to bring in another point guard. Hey.
How you doing, little queen?
What's going on, little mama?
School.
But
Nice.
she having an icy. She got the blue tongue.
They still Knicks.
I still make.
That's right.
Yeah. Free promotion.
Yo,
There you go.
it's her time, y'all. She let me live all morning.
She messed up, man.
Yeah, blessings to y'all, man. Love y'all guys. Y'all have a great weekend. Everybody in the chat, you don't work, you got paid this week. Hopefully on Friday, you know, if that's your
Have
payday,
fun.
do something with yourself. Go enjoy
Right.
yourself. Take your family out. Enjoy life, man. Live while
Make an
you live,
investment.
man. Appreciate it, man. Blessings to everybody, man.
All right, Jay. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
All
Jay
right, the
Boogie.
boogie.
Yeah, so I just think that they need to bring in another defensive player because I think if you put a little bit more defense out there around a guy like RJ, who has struggled for a lot of the season this year, I think that pushes the narrative around him that he's got to step up his game outside of what he's doing. But you know, sometimes as a young player, we talk about RJ's poise and everything he does and how he looks at the game, but also he's got to look at it like, you know, I'm out here with you know, Fournier and this guy, and they don't play any defense, and I play better defense. Sometimes you kind of rest on your laurels there, and you think, oh, well, you know, I'm better defensively. It'll just, you know, I'll make a play or what. No, RJ's been slacking on defense, and it's been showing.
Yeah.
So I think the Knicks need to push that and put some you know, maybe a better defender out there with him, who can kind of help, kind of spur him. Like if you saw RJ's defense when, and they may not have to make a change, then we just need to be healthy, because when you saw RJ's defense when we had a game against, I keep pointing to the Clippers, but it was around that stretch anyway, where we had RJ out there on the court, Grimes out there, and Cam Reddish. They were running around, man. They were getting after it, and I think that's what he needs in order to. He shouldn't have to need that, but I'm just saying that pushes him to really dig in on defense, because he has been slacking a little bit. You know, and maybe it's because he's got to handle the burden of the offensive load so much, but he definitely needs to kind of go back to what we like about him, what he's improved on, and because without that, the Knicks are in trouble. You can't have no defense from Fournier and then poor defense from RJ and then spotty, sketchy defense from Alec Burks. Like, what are we doing? Like, you can't that you're gonna get killed like that. So yeah, he definitely needs to step up and get back to what we were used to seeing from him. Sergeant Knicks, G-Man in the building. Tat Face, what's going on, guys? IQJ, I see you. Appreciate y'all as always. And you know, I've already went back and forth with G-Man on Twitter. Just, you know, I'm gonna say it here because this is where it was. There was a show we had on. It was a couple weeks ago, I think, with Sim. We had a great panel, and G-Man came in, but G-Man was actually at a different location, so his internet was a little spotty. He came on, and I didn't get to hear from him, and then he was gone. I felt so bad, so I had to reach out to him and let him know, like, you know, it was no slight to him, you know. And by the time I looked him, he was gone. Yeah,
word in the street is that G-Man is around the Caribbean right now, and yeah, he's living life, and he's making international investments and stuff like that. Man, he's an important guy, bro.
Yeah, he out there doing to get this Walt Clyde Frazier on down there. You know, yeah, G-Man's your favorite. G-Man's your favorite uncle's favorite uncle. You know.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, man. That's dope though. I wanted to touch on a couple more things before I get out of here, because, you know, I got to kind of get used to condensing these shows, man. We're going to get into the off season. Ain't going to be no time to be talking 4 or 5 hours.
No 5 hours?
Nah, man.
No, man. Thank Lord, man. I got stuff to do.
It's gonna get warmer and nice. I can't have people saying we going to brunch and I'm over here like, yeah, man. So RJ, like, when he's 54 years old, I think he's gonna. Oh, yeah. Let me get up out of here. So I gotta make sure I'm spending quality time with the fam and all that.
Of course.
What I wanted to talk about real quick, guys, is being that we know that the Knicks are cash strapped. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know exactly where we're going to fall in the draft. If there was a chance, right, and I know everybody's talking about the big names, the Donovan Mitchells and all this. Who knows what's going to happen with that?
Why do you feel we're cash strapped?
Well, because of the fact that apparently the Knicks have – well, okay, we're not if certain things happen. Like if we let Mitch go, we're not. If we decide to go another year without locking RJ up, okay, we're not. But, I guess I would say with cash strapped if they decide to – because we don't know what they're thinking. They may say, at the end of the season, something clicks and we're like, you know what? Or maybe how our draft looks, maybe where we get our pick. Maybe then they say, oh, you know what? Let's lock RJ up now because we got this. Or
ooh, I hope they don't do that. But,
no, we don't know. Like, you know how it is, man. We don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So if that's not the case, if they do decide to wait with RJ and maybe Mitch goes bye-bye, then maybe they might have the chance to bring it. Because I think what we have maybe 18, if things play out a certain way, we might have around 18 million to play with, 16 to 18, something like that. I don't know. It's somewhere around that. That's not necessarily cash strap, but you can't go out there and get yourself a big name free agent. It's got to be a lower echelon type of situation. You got to figure out. And I see
what you're getting at. So you're saying that if we sign Mitch and stuff of that nature, Julius is going to be 24, Evan's going to be 19. I get what you're getting at now.
Yeah. That then we run into a little bit of an issue is like, even you may want something, but you can't really afford to go do that right now because you got other stuff happening. You might have to think a little differently on a cheaper scale. And plus that new TV contract and all that stuff hasn't kicked in yet. So
right.
Who do you think? Is there someone around the league that you think that we've talked about that honestly you still think is someone the Knicks possibly should target on the cheap? Because we brought up, and I don't want to regurgitate the same thing. We brought up the Mo Bambas and all this stuff, but is there someone? It could just be one player. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch. Is there one player that you think that the Knicks can go out there and target that is not that expensive, that just might come in and give the Knicks a little bit of something they're missing? Doesn't have to be like I said, doesn't have to be a superstar. Just somebody that can give us something that we could use. You would have to have the free agent list in front of you, and I know everybody doesn't have that. But I'm just saying, somebody do you think that they could go out there and acquire on the cheap? It doesn't have to be a free agent. We can just trade from. Like I mentioned, Kelly Olynyk. It could be someone of that ilk. There's somebody that you think that maybe is on a team that's not getting used properly, that maybe the Knicks can benefit from using, or not getting the minutes.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Ron, it would really depend on what they do in the offseason. And then I could give you a better breakdown because, like, for example, right, if, say, they decide to choose Obi, right, and they trade Randle, right, they would need a backup power forward.
Right.
So I would look somewhere like a Usman Garuba from Houston. I mentioned Kelly Olynyk before as well. Maybe a PJ Washington. I think he's only like 8 or 9, 10 or something like that. So that's not too bad.
Right.
It depends, like if we don't fix the point guard situation, I've always been in favor of signing like a TJ McConnell because I think New York will love him and he's just tough and he knows how to run an offense and he's a pass first, team first guy. And I think we need more guys like that in this locker room, to be quite frank. But it really depends. I could definitely get back at you at a whole list, knowing how this is going to shape up. Because, we mentioned before early in the show, like, it's just so many questions. Are you going to sign Mitch? What are you doing with the Randle and Obi thing? What are you doing with the point guard situation? What draft pick are we going to? Because a draft pick might, what do you call that? Make up for certain deficiencies that we're looking for, stuff like that. So
right. And
No,
I was going to say, I know Sergeant Knicks put Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes is pricey though. He's like $20 million per year. It might have to be somebody cheaper, like what D is saying, like a PJ Washington, somebody a little less pricey.
Do we sign Cam? What are we doing with that? And then what happens with Burks? Because if you sign Cam for $15 million, he's got to be starting over Burks. And will Tibbs agree with that? Man, I've never seen so many damn questions to a damn season that this team has covered this offseason. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a lot of content. It's going to be a lot of excitement and a lot of polarizing different views that is going to lead to a lot of different type of debates. So
here's a question for you, D. And Soulfinger, you're welcome to chime in as well, bro. If you were the GM, don't forget the Knicks, because we know what the Knicks, who knows what the Knicks do. Knowing what you've seen from Cam, right? Knowing Cam's career so far in the league, would you feel comfortable giving Cam money right now? Or would you want to see more?
I like to see more. I have to see more. I know he did play a little bit, but it was sparingly in Atlanta, but I need to see more. And also because I'll be looking at it like this. We already went down this road when we did this with Randle. He had the one phenomenal year. We jumped on it with both feet and gave up the ghost on that. So I want to be, patient and see. Now, if he's playing like this, and I'm not saying wait till the end of the season, because you can sign him if it's going to be in the middle of the year or whatever, you can do whatever. But I need to see more because he's been hurt. He got here, he was still hurt. Granted, he got hurt playing on a defensive play, which I love the fact that he played defense. But I like to see more. The talent is there, but I want to see more. And then two, because you see more, then you can really properly gauge it. Now, on the other hand, some saying sign him now because you can get him on the cheap. Well, that's if he's going to take that. So you got to look at, weigh both options. And also, I'm looking at it as this: I would like to hold on to Cam, but if another organization's coming up to me and they're offering something pretty good for him, that's the other thing. And then if you sign him to a contract that you want, it may blow up the trade that they may want to do because they want to pay him the money that you gave him. So those things you got to take into account.
Mm-hmm.
But me myself, I would like to see just a little bit more. The talent is there. You can't doubt that. I mean, the kid is he's talented, but I want to see more and see how he works with the team.
What do you think, D?
Well, I think Soulfinger, you're a very nice gentleman, but the problem is that we have to make a decision because next season is his qualifying offer. And Cam might not be down to take, I think it's like 6, 7, 8 million, something like that.
That's right. He is.
Right.
He is. He and RJ in the same boat.
Yeah, so like we're gonna have to do something with him. And I think that it would be smart that if you did give up a player, you did give up a first. Now, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on that first, right? But people didn't realize that I think it was something like if the Hornets were like better than 19th or something like that, or something of that nature, that the pick would move to next year, and then they were better like that year, will move back to the next year, and the value of the pick will actually be worse.
Yeah, at some point after like 2-3 years, it turned into a second round pick.
Right. So, me seeing it that way, I'm saying, okay, I gave up a pick and stuff like that. I'm willing, and this is just me, because I'm making an investment on his potential. I'm not making an investment of what he's done. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm going to cut you off because you brought that one tidbit that I forgot. That's shame on me. I had an old man situation.
Nah, man, don't worry about it. You're a busy guy.
But when you talk about that year that he's coming up, then yeah, when you put it like that, then yeah, I'm gonna sign him. I'm not gonna mess around with it like that. But if I had another year to see, then yeah, I'll hold off. But
absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. But here's my thing, and I'll even do Cam a favor because we're such in need for elite potential top tier talent, right? Which he does have tools in his toolbox that do kind of scream that potential, right? So I would definitely give him 2 years, 30, very short contract, very flexible. He makes 15 million, which he can't complain. And just in case it don't work out, somebody can catch him for an expiring and stuff like that, and I could get something back for that.
Well, see, that's why we're gonna send. That's why we sending you up there to work with Brock Aller, and y'all can handle this.
Nah, Brock's a good capologist, man. I can't even front. I'm more concerned about.
But he needs that. He can always have the extra help. So you can take care of those for us.
Yeah, I think we need the Leon Rose and stuff. We need that stuff situated because some of these moves have been like incompetent to say the least, and stuff that we could get better guys in there that could construct this a lot better.
Yeah, I hear you. Shout out to John Talento. Salute, see you. You mentioned he said Trey Mann as a person that thing is, man, I don't know how willing OKC would be to give up a Trey Mann. He's interesting because he's shown you flashes of what he can do. I don't know. I don't know if we could get a guy like that, but it'd be nice. And Andy N, probably not going to be on much longer, brother. So probably another 10 minutes or so.
Well, I gotta go on and get my Eric B and Rakim on and move the crowd so I can get on up here.
I got you, bro.
And appreciate letting me come in the door, chop it up with you, cats, special everything, and be seeing y'all soon. Hey, big ups. Hey, if you haven't done it, hit the like button. Hey, if you haven't worked out today or exercised, you hit that like button, you will burn some calories that'll go towards your fitness. So, show some love, burn some calories, hit that like button. And on that, I'm out. Peace out.
Okay,
right,
so
brother.
Enjoy your day with your daughter's event.
Appreciate you as always. And I think that we're in a situation where we're stuck, man, because they're not. I think it's just going to be too rash for them to make too many changes. I don't think the Tibbs is not going anywhere. I don't think the front office is going to be changed at all.
Yeah.
So we just got to hope that they make a smart decision, and we'll see how this guy's role comes into play. The consultant. The consultant, yeah. Because now this is where you're gonna earn your money, buddy. We need to find out how you can help us, make some wise decisions here. What are you gonna consult us on? Because I have no clue what he's actually consulting us on. So this might be when we actually see him earn his money.
Yeah, and the funny part about that is that there was really no understanding put forward as to exactly at what aspect of the organization was he consulting, and was it overall? Was it a certain department? Was it two departments? So who knows?
Maybe he's a big instrumental piece of the scouting situation, like what's happening with the draft. Maybe they're giving that information to him, and he's doing his own due diligence with that, and he's looking at the free agents and what's coming up and seeing how we can better equip the team going forward, making some changes. I hope. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I hear you.
But
is he the backup plan just in case it falls apart, and he's already there just waiting? It could be something like that. Don't you just love to theorizing about things?
Yeah, I mean that's what we got, right?
Doesn't even want to tell us anything.
That's all. Yeah, I know.
Just imagine the Knicks fan base contributing a large part of their over GDP and putting butts in the seat and buying merch, and for almost 2 years say nothing to them. That tells me everything I need to know.
But you know what? We knew we were up for the ringer, man. When they can do whatever they want, and the Knicks can be a horrible product, and the Garden's always sold out. You know that they got us, man. They got us by an old phrase. They got us by the short and curlies.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I got to start bringing up Pepsi and Coca-Cola references and stuff like that. But
man,
that'll be another day. Don't
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hoping that we continue to build off of what we've seen in these last couple games. Go into next year, seeing one thing is to be able to be a good evaluator of talent. The other thing is to be able to evaluate what you actually had out there on the court that didn't work, and how we can improve on it. That's the one thing you hope that you get from any front office. What we got out there, what did it look like to you? And then, okay, what went wrong? How can we improve on it? And and then obviously you hope you have a plan A, plan B, plan C, because there's guys you're not going to get. So who's next up? And then how does this work?
Yeah, and what makes it scary is that we saw what you did with that last season, and didn't really plug in anything that we really needed. So it's like, I mean, we have no choice but to give them another chance. But it doesn't leave me in the confident department in what they're going to do this offseason, especially that they have so many decisions to make.
Right. And like, what would have happened had the Knicks brought in Fournier and brought in a different point guard instead of Kemba, and then never gave Noel the money and gave it to a different type of big? Little things like they're what ifs, but they're not huge. Like they're not out of the realm of possibility. Could have happened, and we might be talking about a different team out here.
Yep. Hey man, I don't know.
I don't know.
You can slice and dice that in so many different directions.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Yeah,
but we'll see what's going on, man. D, I appreciate you for coming on and holding it down with me. Thank you to Soulfinger for jumping on. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you to my man Jay Boogie for jumping on. Appreciate you once again for that Obi track. And thank you to everybody in the chat. Salute to you guys, man. Keeping the chat live, man. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button on your way out. Appreciate the love. We're still trying to grow, as I always say. New year and same me, more subscribers. Thank you for the love. Keep telling people about the show. We want to keep getting it out to more and more families, more and more homes that love the Knicks. Any final words, D?
As usual, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and I thank you for having me. And last game is Sunday, and that is the last game of the season. So I think we should all get together. We should all do something, and in celebration of that, because we have gone through a lot of ups and downs and emotional roller coasters with this. So we should at least celebrate that and at least leave it off on a positive note. So maybe that's something
like
we
a
can
watch
talk
along
about.
type thing. You guys might have that in store, right? Because I know you've been doing some watch alongs lately.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see what's up. We can see if we could chop up something. But besides from that, thank you for having me, and another great show as usual.
Thank you as always. I appreciate you, brother. You know how I feel about the input and the conversation. Just it goes from there, man. It starts. And it just takes off, man. When you have good, intelligent people able to chop it up who aren't just a fan of just the sport, but are into more than just the big name. They're fan. I said that backwards. I meant a fan of the sport of basketball and stuff, not just about a big name. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you. So guys. This has been another good episode of Know the Ledge. Still Knicks fans, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of y'all. I don't know exactly what's going to happen after this game on Sunday. I hope the Knicks can do what they got to do and play good basketball. I'd rather them win than lose, guys. I know some people don't want them to win the game. But it is what it is, man. You're going to go out there and put out your best effort. Now, that being said, they are playing the Toronto Raptors, and if RJ don't play, it's not going to be easy for them to win. So,
it's not even that. Don't forget, Toronto is not rolling out with anything because they have solidified the 6th spot.
Correct.
Right.
But Toronto's got some good young players over there too, so it's still going to be a tough game. So we'll see what happens, guys. But definitely salute and much love to everybody. Thank you guys once again. I'm out of here. D's out of here. We'll catch you on the next one. Let's get to the I want to say run the outro, but it's not my thing. I can't use it. But we out of here.
Peace, y'all. Have a great Sunday.